Hey, it's Drew Bennett from Big Damn Kid, and we get back into regular continuity of the Transformers with issue number 27, and it looks like it's the return of the Dinobots and the first introduction of Trypticon. Let's get into it. So, the issue opens with a college student who has brought her professor and a graduate student out to the woods to look at some dinosaur tracks. She wants to know if there's a potential that there could be dinosaurs out in the Cascade Mountains. Well, we know what it's going to be, but the professor, he takes a look, and he says that, based on these, they are the right size and shape, but the edges are way too uniform, almost as if it's something mechanical. It's probably just an elaborate hoax. And then they see a pterodactyl go flying through the sky, and we know that as Swoop. So they decide they're going to stay overnight in the woods and see if they could find out some more information. They try to follow Swoop, but he's way too fast. And Swoop goes to a diner where he actually swoops down and grabs the tanker off of a tanker truck, an oil tanker, and flies off with it. No, that is not our buddy Bomber Bill from issue number 10. That's just another trucker who's at a diner. These poor truckers at the diners, they keep losing their trucks to the Transformers. So the Dinobots, since they've been in exile, have taken to stealing fuel however they can. And what they're planning on doing is, because Swoop has been spying on the Autobots, they know that Optimus Prime is dead, and it is time for Grimlock to challenge for leadership of the Autobots. He wants to become the Autobot leader because he is the strongest, and therefore he should lead. That's Grimlock for you. That is Grimlock through and through. His thought process and everything. So we go from there to Decepticon Island, where the Decepticon base is in the Florida Keys, and the Decepticons, Soundwave and Shockwave, and another random guy in the back there. It's not Megatron. And they are talking with Ratbat. And Ratbat is the fuel auditor on Cybertron. So, a bean counter out on Cybertron, who is talking about the inefficiency of the fuel usage of the Decepticons from Earth. And they decided that he's shutting down the space bridge, and they're not going to be able to use the space bridge anymore because it's cost more fuel to run the space bridge than the fuel that they've sent across. I mean, every use of the space bridge that the Decepticons on Earth have done has been disastrous, with Megatron blowing it up not only 2 issues ago. So, obviously, it makes a lot of sense to shut him down. But Shockwave convinces Ratbat that because he is now in charge, and Megatron's not in charge anymore, that the fuel usage is going to be much more efficient, and he's going to take care of things. As long as they can conquer the Autobots in the Ark. If they can capture the Ark, and he says, and the vast resources of the Ark. What vast resources? The Ark is a crippled spaceship that the Autobots cannot get fixed. It's full of half-functioning Autobots. What is so great about the Ark? Is it the fact that it can only fly? It can fly back to Cybertron? Well, why don't they just get on one of the space bridges every time it comes back and forth to Earth? And then go back to Cybertron. What do they need the Ark for? They don't need it for anything. They just want to conquer the Autobots. So Ratbat decides that, okay, we'll do this one last thing. We're going to send you over the deadliest Decepticon we have, and he'll take care of the Autobots for you. Meanwhile, back at the Autobot base, there is a council of all of the more leader-type Autobots. We got Jetfire, Perceptor, Blaster, Hotspot, Silverbolt, and Ratchet. They're deciding on who could be the next leader, and also the qualities of the leader that they're looking for. And they start talking about Optimus Prime and all the different qualifications he had. Then Grimlock comes busting in, and he says that he should be leader because he is the strongest, and therefore he should lead. And the rest of the, he comes in, he said Optimus Prime was very strong, but he is dead. I should be leader. And Perceptor tells him that, you are the leader of the Dinobots, and your opinion, we'll take your opinion, but we don't like what you're saying, the way you're saying it, your demeanor, and that is not the way Optimus Prime would be. And so, then Grimlock goes and says, well, Optimus Prime led to his own destruction because he favored the humans and the weaklings of the, those weak humans, and that brought about his own destruction. And anyway, I am having a tantrum like a 2-year-old, and I am leaving, and I will come back, and I will be leading the Autobots, because you'll be sorry, because I'm coming back, and I'm going to lead the Autobots. So Grimlock says, I will ask for nothing, I will take what I want. Grimlock is very, very passionate, and he's not, he's not the smartest, but he is the strongest. Although you wouldn't see that evidence based on the fight that he had with Megatron, where he and the entire contingent of Dinobots got trashed by Megatron, right away. So I don't know. The strongest, maybe, I guess they're starting to get that legend of him being the strongest. In any way, so we go back to the woods. That student, Rachel Becker, she is in the woods, and suddenly this bright light shines. She gets up, thinks it might be morning. It's not morning, but she's getting this light in the middle of the woods. So she goes stumbling off through the woods, and what she sees is the space bridge. And then she sees Trypticon coming off of the space bridge, and she just freaks out, is so terrified after seeing Trypticon, and she starts to run through the woods. Now, Trypticon is enormous. Trypticon and, remember Metroplex? Trypticon and Metroplex are both city-sized Transformers. So, in this whole Titan's Return, that's the current current storyline of the Transformers. I mean, they are huge, huge. Their size seems to fluctuate in the comic books, but Trypticon is enormous. I mean, he is so big, and he's way bigger than they depict him here. Anyway, he does convert into a battle station city, and that he actually comes with a car, and the car's name is Wipeout. So Rachel goes running through the woods, and then she realizes, hey, this thing isn't chasing me. It hasn't even seen me. So I'm going to stay right here, calm myself down, and it's going to be morning soon, and I will go find my way back to where I all with the Professor and Marty are. So I just got it, Marty and the Professor. Must be why I'm wearing this shirt. The Marty McPrime. Probably not, but I don't know. It is 1987. It's after Back to the Future. The Professor and Marty. I don't know. So Trypticon converts into battle station mode, and he fires off a sonic scrambler at the Ark. And what happens to the Autobots is they are unable to, control themselves at this point because of the sonic scrambler until Warpath blows it up. Then the Dinobots are coming back through the forest. They're going to go and knock a few heads with the Autobots and take over leadership of the Autobots. What they see as they come over a ridge is Trypticon just blasting away at the Autobots. The Autobots are trying to, attack Trypticon, and they're pretty, they're pretty much getting decimated. And the Dinobots see this happening from above the ridge, and they watch it for a while and kind of give commentary and laughter because, let's let the Trypticon soften up the Autobots, and then we'll go in and we'll trash Trypticon. Grimlock doesn't really quite sit well with Trypticon. With Grimlock. So he goes walking off into the woods and starts thinking, he's like, I knew I would have to knock around a few Autobots, and I didn't even feel bad about that. But I can't see him get slaughtered by this Trypticon. And as he goes through the woods, he sees Rachel. Rachel sees him, and rather than run away, Rachel starts to approach him, and Grimlock sees that she's not fleeing in terror, And so his whole thought process on how humans are weak and scared and cowards has changed. He sees that she's not afraid of him, and so he goes back through, and he leaves, goes back to the Dinobots. Meanwhile, coming up behind her is Wipeout, and Wipeout is he's like a mini-con that is, he comes with Trypticon, and he goes and he grabs Rachel. So he snags her. Grimlock goes back, sees that the fight is still raging. They're actually right above Trypticon. The Dinobots. Yep, sorry. The Dinobots are right above Trypticon, and they're seeing Blaster gets blasted, and then a whole mess of Sonic Scramblers get dropped, and the other Autobots coming out of the Ark can't move because of the Sonic Scramblers, and so they need to get rid of those Sonic Scramblers. The fight is going poorly for the Autobots. The other Dinobots are still, laughing about it, and Grimlock says, I'll be ruling over a pile of scrap metal soon, if they don't get in and do something. Meanwhile, Wipeout comes and brings Rachel to Trypticon, saying, I've brought you, a life form here, and Trypticon's going to eat her. He transforms into dinosaur mode, and Grimlock recognizes her and says, I met the human I met before. And rather than see her get eaten by Trypticon, Grimlock dives off of the ridge onto the back of Trypticon and starts attacking him until Trypticon throws him off. Then the rest of the Dinobots join the fray. They start attacking Trypticon, and it's going pretty well for the Dinobots, and they're really knocking Trypticon around. I mean, they are strong, and together they're very strong. So they're attacking Trypticon. Trypticon then lays out the rest of his arsenal and starts blasting at the Dinobots, and starts to lose a bit. Then Swoop, they recover. They start attacking Trypticon back. Trypticon is now losing, and he gets a message from Ratbat saying, this is the voice of Ratbat, Trypticon. Our remote fuel sensors indicate you've exceeded your Energon budget for this mission. He's gone over budget. So he has to escape on the space bridge, go back to Cybertron, and then the Dinobots, they're victorious. Rachel watches the whole thing, sees the Dinobots leave, and the Professor and Marty come and they show up and they say, have you seen any evidence of dinosaurs? He said, no, but I've seen something much more. There's this giant battleground right now. I mean, there's got to be wounded Autobots laying about, so they don't see this? I don't know. We end in the Ark where the Autobots have decided that Grimlock was very selfless and he had a lot of the qualities of Optimus Prime in that fight, and therefore he has earned the title of leader of the Autobots. Grimlock turns it down, and he says he's not fit to be leader, but Ratchet and Perceptor and Blaster all convince him that he is, and they decide that they make Grimlock the leader of the Autobots. So they all hail Grimlock. And I wonder how long it's going to be before they realize the folly of their choice. Because he might have been selfless in that battle, but he's still Grimlock. He still thinks only about Grimlock. We'll find out. Anyway, this is Drew Bennett from Big Damn Kid. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook as Big Damn Kid. You can also find me here where I make videos every single day with the Transformers. We're back to regular continuity, so tomorrow it will be number 28. And I hope that you like and subscribe. And hey, thanks for watching.